Hi, folks. Gorebag here. Old Gorebag at gorebag.com and Gorebag TV. And when I say old Gorebag, I mean old Gorebag. I used to go to the Dumont studios when I was a kid. I'd watch the airings of Captain Video, and I was in the peanut gallery at the Howdy Doody shows and stuff. I go back a ways. And but I'm very, very happy to be able to get out to 195 countries with these lessons. I think that's kind of fun. And there's people who are watching this who have no electric in their village, and yet they have cell phones. People in Afghanistan and Africa who are watching this right now, who do not have running water in their villages. They don't have electric in their villages, but they do have cell phones. And I found out that they solar charge these things, so that's kind of fun. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, this is lesson number 1, and it's wood or plastic. The question is wood or plastic. First of all, let's talk budget. I'm going to remove some recorders from my gig bag. This is a Reunion Blues. I'm going to put this under my armpit because that's actually what you need to do to warm it up. It's true. And I'm going to take out a very cheap plastic recorder. This is wood. This is plastic. I use this one in particular for this lesson. I will use a much better one later on. The argument is, which one is better? Which one sounds better? Which one plays better? They both play actually exactly the same, quite frankly. In terms of the fingering, anyway, they play the same. Do they sound exactly alike? No. In the high registers, the wood is going to sound better in some ways. It's going to make a better timbre out of it. Unless you can control the voicing, and you can eventually do that, so you can get a great sound out of a plastic recorder, but it's going to take a little more effort than it is with wood. The disadvantages with wood. Number one disadvantage with wood is this is going to cost you between $2,000 and $3,000 for a fairly good one, and about $5,000 to $7,000 or $8,000 for a really fantastic piece. And then a custom one is going to cost you $20,000 to $50,000 with things like carved ivory fittings and that sort of thing. As it is, this one with the little ivory, this is ivory fittings in here, not bone, it's ivory. And this is a $3,200 recorder. I took the plastic recorder out of a gig bag that's worth more than a dozen of these recorders would cost. Just the gig bag alone. Here is to me the greatest disadvantage of the wood recorder is that it has to be broken in, number one. You have to break it in. So you break it in 5 minutes a day for the first 5 days, then 10 minutes a day for the next 5 days, then 15 minutes a day for the next 5 days, then 20 minutes a day for the next 5 days, then and so forth and so on, increasing it by 5 minutes a day until you're up to a maximum of 40 minutes. The powers that be, the pundits, tell you, really, that 20 minutes, 30 minutes is good, 40 minutes is pushing it. If you play this for an hour, you do so at your own risk. So if you're going to play in performance, you're going to need 2 of these at about $3,200 a pop. Typically, you don't always play the soprano. You might play a soprano plus an alto plus a tenor, maybe. So you're going to switch around. So you're going to invest if you're going to be performing. You will be investing somewhere around $10,000 for your recorders. Frankly, I would rather take that money and put it in the stock market. But in fact, as lousy as the stock market is, it would be a better bet as far as I'm concerned. The sound of this, you have to do a number of things. First of all, you have to keep your mouth very dry. Secondly, you've got to warm the head up under your armpit for about 15 minutes to get your recorder at your body temperature. your body temperature. Then you're going to blow it for 5 minutes gently. You mustn't overblow it. You overblow it, you're going to ruin it. You blow it for 5 minutes, and that's to get it warmed up and tuned in. Now you're ready to perform with it. Now you've only got 15 minutes left on this thing. Maybe you've got 35 minutes if you go to the full 40. Then you must change over, put it under your armpit, your second recorder, put it under your armpit, let it sit under your armpit for 15 minutes, blow it for 5 minutes, and now you're ready to go to your second thing. So actually you need a 20-minute break between these, or you have a friend put it under their armpit for you while you're, waiting backstage. So that's the main advantage. There's other disadvantages, which is mildew is an enemy of the wood. In addition to which, cleaning this is very hard, and you must re-oil the bore repeatedly. You also need to send it in fairly frequently to the manufacturer, only the manufacturer, because they're the only ones who can really do this. The one who made it is the one who will be able to fix it, work with it, just for refinishing, reboring it, and maybe recutting the labium, so forth. The different things that may be required in order to keep this in tune to either 415 or 440A, depending upon whether you have Baroque or this or that, the other. But so that's a tremendous disadvantage. Another disadvantage is that once this gets gunked up, you really can't clean it yourself. You must send it in for someone else, a professional, to rework it and degunk it for you. That's true. You really shouldn't do your own degunking. And it's going to get gunked up as you play it. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. You can hear it's very, very sweet. That's about all I can do for one day. Then it has to go back in this box. Actually, it has to be cleaned. It has to be taken apart, because you mustn't leave these things. And you only turn it one direction. And the parts must be kept separate from each other. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about plastic advantages and disadvantages. So tune into lesson number 2, which is, what is plastic anyway?